Hi, I'm Lenny Mongielo from Bird Barrier. Thanks for joining us. I spent some time recently with Eric Wolf, the president of Innolytics, the makers of OvoControl. And one of the topics we focused on was finding the right customer in the right location, the right situation, so that OvoControl is a good solution and part of a suite of solutions, and you can get it sold to your customer. Let's talk about how our friends at PMPs can actually get this sold.
Well, it's real important to set expectations.
Good.
Because the expectation of the customer when he calls a professional in to do the work is that the professional is going to get rid of the pigeons immediately. So the expectation that's critical is reducing that population over time, and the metric that you want to quote is roughly 50% per year is what the customer is going to see in reduction.
If they had started with a stable, not growing flock. If that flock's not treated with the population reduction solution, it's actually going to grow over time. In this case, it's going to reduce. So the math is actually conservative when you talk about a smaller flock.
Well, the customer, again, he's called you in because he's got a problem he can't solve. And this is part of the solution that you can offer him. A gradually reducing population of birds.
Let's talk about part of the solution. We've touched on it before. Let's mention it again. If there's specific surfaces or hotspots, we've got traditional exclusion products. There's also the disciplines of trapping and chemical control that are out there. Now, chemical control is out of the way, but trapping can be combined with OvoControl as well, can it not, as part of an integrated program along with exclusion?
There's no question. Just like in so many other branches of pest control, you get these complex problems that you have to approach from different angles. Trapping and OvoControl go together perfectly because you're providing that customer with that immediate gratification.
Body count, we could call it.
We call it a body count if you want, but it's an immediate reduction. The problem when you use trapping in many sites without something like a contraceptive is that the birds simply breed right back.
Yeah, there's more food, there's more water, they go into overdrive and they actually repopulate almost at the pace of the trapping.
That's correct, and you end up, if you're doing trapping alone, and we've seen many different examples of this, trapping alone, that you end up simply harvesting pigeons over time.
So trapping gives you less birds now. Combined with OvoControl, the customer gets less birds over time. What kind of site and what kind of problem is best addressed with OvoControl? If you've got a Radio Shack store owner with 4 pigeons on his sign, is that an OvoControl opportunity?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No, OvoControl is meant as a population management tool, and it's well suited or best suited for large sites.
Large sites, yeah. So that's the customer that's got a piece of property where they've got pigeons on particular structures, but they still live with pigeons on their property. So sometimes it's a matter of selecting the right customer to make this part of the solution set for you.
Well, going back to your example, the Radio Shack. The Radio Shack is a single store, maybe located in a big mall.
Okay.
All right, so the Radio Shack is possibly not the customer, but perhaps the mall is.
Okay, so it's push that button on the camera that takes you out wide sometimes to look at the larger facility or a larger area that it's on.
Or your example of places and spaces.
Very good.
Are the birds a problem in a specific area that you can point to?
A place?
Or are they a problem all over?
Which is a space.
Okay, so that really works well.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
Part of your value, and there are sites that are more suitable to an OvoControl program, and there are other sites that are less suitable for an OvoControl program. So, for example, a school campus, we would consider a very good site for an OvoControl program, since the school is interested in reducing that population and the burden of the birds. Going back to the Radio Shack with the sign, or I'm certain there are many other examples where you have specific places, hotspots,
sure,
where you want to remove the birds from, those are probably your less likely sites.